Hello, I'm with Seed System Solution, and in this video, I will walk you through the steps of creating a new user, editing a user, changing the password for a user, as well as how to create a new user job set. So all of the items that we talk about today, if you can't see or don't have access to them, please contact the admin user within your organization for assistance with getting you set up with these tabs. All of our user setup is done within our user module. To navigate there, select Main Menu, click on System Settings, and then in the far right side, there is a User tab. If you can't see all of the tabs, you might need to scroll over on the bottom depending on your monitor size. Once in Users, you're going to see a list of your users. If the user is grayed out, that means they are no longer active users. I'm going to start with creating a new user. To do that, you're going to open your hamburger menu, and you're going to select New. You're going to then see a popover that's going to have a bunch of red fields in it that we need to fill out. All of the fields that are red do need to be completed. The active checkbox is checked by default, which means this user is going to be active once we set them up. So you're first going to enter in the first name of the user. You're then going to enter in their email address. And this email address should be the email they can receive an email at, as well as what their outgoing email is going to be. Then their account name. So this is going to be when they log in, what the account name that they're going to enter in. And it can be any uppercase, lowercase characters. Then in their privilege set, you're going to have a list of options. Several of these are options that we set up individually for companies, depending on their business rules. Your main ones that you're going to want to use typically are data entry. You can use full access. However, this full access will give users the ability to open up the records toolbar and select delete. And that does delete things through a non-scripted process. So we do fully recommend most users who are going to have complete access of the system have a data entry and not a privilege of full access. We do recommend that to be saved for more your high-end users or your technologically advanced users, because it can cause data entry issues. Data entry, as well as your dealer or your sales rep. And your privilege set is going to limit the records that a user can see. So a full access or a data entry user is going to have access to all records and all of the tables in the system. A sales rep is going to be limited by, say, what their sales rep ID is. The dealer is going to be limited by their customer ID number. So they can only see items or records where their customer ID number is linked to it, as well as, say, a regional sales manager, we can limit based on department. So the privilege set is going to limit what records they can see. If you have any questions or have any special items we need to set up, please contact us and we can help you out with that. The job then is job codes that we can assist you with setting up, but I will cover that in a few minutes here. And the job settings are going to be what layouts or menu options those users can see. So everybody within the same job is going to be able to see the same layouts. And we do have a video walking you through how to set up those layout menus on our YouTube channel. So you can link over to that and see how to set up those menu options for those users. But again, the job is going to, anyone with this job can see all of the same layouts. So typically by default, when you start up, we do give you an admin layout, an office layout, a sales layout, and all of those can then have slightly different menu or tab options. So once you've selected all of that information, you're going to see a save button. So you're going to press save. When you save this information, you're going to get a pop-up saying that the changes have been saved and an email has been sent. That user will now receive an email that includes their username for logging in and a temporary password. The user will be prompted to change their password on the first time that they log in. Some additional information that you may need to fill in for each individual user going across here is if you are limited again by a sales rep. So if you have a sales privilege set, you're going to want to select which sales rep this user is. So then we can link and narrow down the bookings or customers this person sees based on when they are the sales rep on that ID. So we can just select that sales rep and it will fill into our sales rep ID field. The next one is a customer ID number. So again, if this is a dealership, we would select the customer ID and then we're going to link which customer that this account is linked to. And then it will set that into our customer ID number field. And now when that user logs in, as long as they have a privilege set that is a dealer privilege set that is limited by customer ID number, they would only see bookings or customers linked to that customer ID number. Skipping ahead to these start layouts, by default, you can see they are filled in here. This would be when they log in, what screen that they see. We do have these set up for main just user login, but we can create you specialized menu options, or you can change your option a little bit based on what they're going to want to see, such as if they're a driver, they could only see the load list, or if they're a sales rep or a dealer, they also see their CRM goals. We don't recommend setting the user layout to the iPad or the iPhone. That layout itself is not optimized for those layouts or for those platforms. We then also have a gear icon with a little bit more information that we can set up. We can set up our user's email. The user itself also has access to set this up when they first log in on the left side of their screen, as long as they're not using the WebDirect platform. The server, if they select server, that is going to go through their outgoing email server and send the email. Please note that most email platforms now require you to have third-party authentication on or two-factor, and would you need you to set up an app password. So when you're prompted for an email password, you would enter in that app password instead of your normal password. This varies based on what email platform you have, so please verify with them how to set up an app password for your account. But for your server, you're going to set up your email server IP address, the port number, the security settings, whether it's TLS, none, SSL, and then again, your email password, which most often you need to set up an app password. If you select client, that is going to open up the email client on your computer, such as Microsoft Outlook or Mail platform on a Mac computer. It does have to be a full version of Microsoft Outlook. It can't be Microsoft Mail. Mail is not a supported client. Then moving down here, we do have some additional default settings we can set for the user. Some of these do require additional setup to be done by Portage Bay in order for them to work. So if you have any questions or it doesn't seem to be working, please contact us and we can assist. There may be custom program needed for these items. Default location is going to narrow down the location that this user can see. Department is going to narrow down the department that they can see. If you need to narrow a department, we are going to need to set that to be based on a special privilege set. And if we need more than one department narrowed, so this user can see multiple departments, we would use this department's visibility and select the multiple departments. Again, departments, sales reps, and locations to limit those, we do need special privilege sets set up. So please contact Portage Bay for assistance with that. If you have multiple company logos set up that you can print different logos on your printout, the default company is going to select when this user logs in, which logo shows by default for them. And the final piece of information here is to send a customer communication. This would be if that user is listed as a follow-up user for a communication that's entered, this user will receive an email. That is the user setup. To edit a user, we would come back into this user module. And we would select the edit pencil next to their name to make any edits to their email address, their privilege set, or their job. As well as here, we can make them inactive by unchecking the active checkbox and then saving. That user would now be active or deactivated, and they can no longer log into the system. If you needed to make changes based on what rep ID or customer ID or any of the other settings within the gear icon, you can do that just through changing the options. And the next time they log in, those changes would take place. To change a user's password, you would again press the edit icon. And then you're going to check the box that says reset password. And then you're going to save. And now that user is going to be sent an email with their new temporary password. Upon logging in, the next time they will be prompted to change their password. You cannot delete a record or user record. So once you make them inactive, they can no longer log in, but their name is still going to appear here. The final piece within this video is setting up a new job. So as I mentioned, each user job set can see a specific set of layouts. And those layouts can be set up in system settings under our security menu. And we would check the box. And if the box is checked, that means they have access to that layout or tab option. That means that every time a user needs to either not see a tab option or have additional tab options that are different from somebody else, they will need a different job setup. So to set up a new job, you're going to go into Job Settings, and then you're going to press the plus to create a new job. We don't recommend changing the job name on any of the current jobs. If you do that, you will need to reset up all of the menu options for the new job because those are set based on the specific job name. We then have a couple of options or several options that need to be set up for each job. Again, by default, we fill in the booking status to be set as a booking. This can be changed, such as if you have a dealer logging in and you want them to always create a pre-booking, that then needs to be approved by somebody in your office. So you can change your booking status, as well as you can change your position that displays. So these options are, you can display a position number just for the company. You can display the position number for just the location of the booking. You can display the position number for both the overall company and the current location. You can just have it display the text field that is set up in the product list based on what your position is, so such as sold out or available, but not an actual number. If it is a sales rep, you can display their allocation that they have available for that product. And if there's no allocation, it would then display the position number. Or we can say none and it doesn't display anything. It will just show the product name itself. There's also several options here, such as hide the account names, hide if there's a pedigree information, hide any pricing, hide any costs, don't allow the user to edit prices, hide the discount fields, hide the weight validation, hide the conditioner field so the user can't change any conditioner fields, hide the pickup location so the user can't change any pickup locations. Pick edit only means they can't print a delivery ticket. They can only edit or create pick tickets. Hide the statement button would hide so that user or job set can't see a statement or print a statement. Allow position override would be even if there's a position restriction in place, it would still allow them to create the order. It would just give them the message. Edit closed would mean even if an accounting period is closed, this user can make edits. And a driver would be this job code will show up in the driver value list for loads. We can hide the federal or social security number ID for customers and vendors, as well as hide QA data. So this would hide the hot link from inventory to QA. Additional setup here we have within the gear icon. So here is some information that we need to set up if the user is a restricted access user. So we need to set some data upon them first logging in. So anytime it is a sales rep, a dealer, or a distributor, we were going to need to set up some of these fields. So the customer sales rep field is going to set we would select initials or sales rep ID, and it's going to set the sales rep ID into the sales rep on if a new customer is created and if a new booking is created. For dealers, we would need to set up for customer ID on the dealer record. So that puts them as the dealer on any new customers that they create. For a booking, we can set whether we're pulling the customer ID number, the dealer ID number from the customer, or we're leaving them blank. If you have questions on setting these up for the first time, please reach out and we can assist you to make sure we have your settings correct based on how you would like to create your bookings and what this user should do. The customer price type would be anytime a new customer is created. This price type is automatically set for this job code, as well as booking type. This would be any new bookings this job code creates. We automatically are going to set a specific booking type for them. Again, if the price type or booking type will vary each time they create an entry, leave them blank here so no defaults are set. The bottom sections here, again, will likely require additional setup pieces in order to get them working, but we can limit things like class or subclass. You can limit editable booking statuses. So this means when this user is logged in, can they edit if a booking status is a booking, or can they only edit if it's a pre-booking or an estimate? Otherwise, by default, they would be able to edit everything. Unclosable work orders is going to allow them to create a work order, but not complete it if it is one of these types. So if they cannot complete a rebag or a repackage, you would select repackage. This user will not see any complete options on that work order type. So once we've set all of these up, we're going to press done. I do want to make note, while we can limit users based on things like customer ID number, sales rep, product classes, locations, that can be set up. But please remember that anytime we do limit data that a user can see in a table, it will have performance repercussions for that user, and things will process slower in the system for them than they would a full access user. So again, it is something we can do, but please note that the user will have a slightly different user experience than a full access user because of it. If you have any further questions about Seed System Solution, you can reference our other training videos on our YouTube channel. You can email us at grow@seedsystem.co, or you can register for our free monthly Zoom meetings and attend those. Thank you.